So someone just asked me for advice, and um, I relate with that person because they're going through some tough times, kind of like the same thing that I went through um, with his mother. And so I relate to those people and I do my best to give them the best advice possible. And he asked me, like, he's been doing this business for 4 months and he's really struggling and he's not seeing any results monetarily, and he doesn't know what to do. He feels depressed, and that depression is getting the best of him, and he thinks he's just going to give up, and it just feels like everything's collapsing, right? And I remember being in that spot, so I relate, and it really does fucking pain me. Like, I really do like empathize with these people like really deeply, because it's tough, man. It's tough. And I just told him, like, you either let the situation that's going on with you right now define you and define the rest of your life for future generations, and you let it win, or you take control and you win and you come out stronger and you come out better, right? And now the thing is, you can't control the external world, right? If your parent has an illness, you can't control that, right? If it's a serious illness and there's no cure, it's not preventative at this point, you can't do anything to stop it, then that's almost like something you can't control it, right? But you can control the internal, which means how you react to that situation, and how you react to that situation is going to define a lot of things in your life. Let me put a tripod down so I can explain. Because like if you're going through a tough time right now, you need to hear this advice of what I'm about to say. And yes, I'm in my dressing gown. It's early as fuck. Right. So back to it. Let's just say you have a parent that's ill, or a family member, or a friend, wherever, dog, it doesn't matter. You either let that decision define you and define the rest of your life, and it ruins you, or it can define you in a good way and it makes you who you are, right? And so when I was speaking to this guy, the advice I gave him was, look, I know it's difficult, but I said, right now, you're thinking of everything from the wrong mental model. Your mental model's broken. The frameworks that you're thinking in, your beliefs are not serving you at this moment. And that's okay because you've got to learn. However, I said, there's no shortcut. I said, this is the harsh reality. I said, if, for example, your parent only has X amount of years to live and you were trying to make money before that time runs out so you can like go on holidays and do these things, I said, that's operating on the wrong mental model. I said, what happened? I said, you're chasing money, right? You're desperate, you're in need. Two examples. What happens when you chase something? It runs, right? What happens when you're needy and desperate with a girl? It doesn't work out, right? We all learned that on the hard way. So like what I said to him is like, you have to become the person that can attract that type of money. You're not trying to make the money. You've got to become the person that can make the money. And what that means is this is the advice I gave him. I said, you can't shortcut your way to success because you've just got to go through the journey yourself. And now I said, you can shortcut your journey in the sense of acquiring information and learning from other people's mistakes by going to masterminds, by networking, by getting mentors, right? But I said, until you get to a level where you can afford to do those things, whether that's working on your job and putting your money into it, which I would advise doing, like, you've just got to go through the journey to become the person, right? And so I told him this very specific advice, and I said, if you truly wanna have the best for your parent, for your mother, if you truly want the best for her, what's gonna happen is gonna happen. That's the harsh reality. If for whatever reason she was to pass in 3 years and you didn't make the money by then, it is what it is. Like that's you can't do anything about it. It's just the external world, right? Like I said, you can only control the internal. So I said, what you need to do is not focus on that, not focus on the time frame, not focus like, don't act like time's running out. Don't get desperate, don't get needy, because that's when depression will creep in, right? Because you're against the time frame. And so instead, you need to try and operate out of abundance, which I understand is easier said than done and difficult when you're in those situations. But the way to do it, and the easiest way that I found, if I could go back and tell my younger self something like what I told this guy, is just tell yourself, make a committed decision to yourself, draw a line in the sand, step over that line, and make a committed decision to yourself to say, I am going to work on my business and work on my mind for 2 years. So I'm going to do personal development day in, day out. I'm going to work on my business day in, day out. One business I'm going to stick to that I know works. He said he was in OFM, right? So we know it works. So stick to that, right? Then work on your mind day in, day out. Your level of income will never far exceed your level of personal development, right? Again, remember, you've got to become the person that can make that kind of money, right? You've got to become the person that can attract the money, right? And so how do you do that? Acquiring skills, learning about business. You level up your mindset. You literally, like I said, you personally develop every single day. You learn high income skills. You master business skills, right? And so you can only do that. That's not something you can just like take in and all of a sudden you know everything. You've got to go through the journey and make the mistakes and make the lessons and get boom, right? And so, like I said, you've got to go through the journey to become the person that can actually make this type of money. And so I told him how you want to frame it so you don't get desperate, spend as much time with your mum as possible, enjoy your life. Don't to put pressure on yourself to go and make this amount of money in this amount of time. Do what you can do what you're good at to make as much money as you can now. So it's easy. And if that capability is to make $2,000 a month, $3,000 a month, just go and continue to make that $2,000, $3,000 a month. If you've got a skill, you maybe whether you do manual labor, whether you do whatever you do, just double down on that and continue to make your money there, right? And if you want to go away, just save that up. Don't go spending it on weekends. Don't go doing dumb shit. Save that up and save that for a holiday, right? Now, or just go and get a new job in sales and something like that, right? That's what I would recommend. But while you're doing that, you set yourself a goal and you make a committed decision and say, right, for the next 2 years, I'm going to work on my business day in, day out. I'm going to develop new skills day in, day out, and I'm going to be personally developed day in, day out. I'm going to work on my mind. I'm going to work on everything day in, day out, right? And I'm going to do that for 2 years. And I'm not looking to get any money in return. I'm not looking to see results in the external world. I'm just doing it for me, and I'm just trying to get better. I'm just trying to become a better version of myself. So it doesn't matter if in those 2 years I make $0. I know I'm doing it for me. And if I truly work on those things day in, day out, it's likely that you will become the person that can start to make the type of money, right? And so that's the mental model you need. But also, if it doesn't happen, you can't be pissed. Give it another year, right? It took me 3 years. I had to go through the journey for 3 years. I was working day in, day out on my mind. If I wasn't working on my mind and I was only working on my business, I would have quit my business because business is difficult. And so it's very over glamorized on social media, which is why I'm starting to really fucking against flex culture. But that's just what works. That's what grabs attention. It's really starting to annoy me and frustrate me. And it is what it is. We're not going to get into that, right? But it's entrepreneurship so over glamorized. It's actually very fucking hard. And there's a reason why 99% or 90% of businesses fail within the first 4 years or 2 years or whatever the fucking statistic is. You've all used the statistic. And so it's over glamorized. And so people think they should be making money quick, and that's the wrong model. Like if you told someone from the 80s, someone from the 50s, successful business guys that, oh my God, you had to work for 3 years to become successful. Are you taking the piss? Like they would fucking piss themselves. I'm sat here complaining like, yeah, the journey was so hard. It took me 3 years. Like I had to literally work day in, day out, 16 hours a day for 3 years on a laptop. Like while I was struggling and while my mother had cancer and this and wow, like you're so hard done by. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot more people in this life that've got it a lot harder than that, and so I'm very grateful for that, and I'm very grateful for the journey and the lessons. But again, you can't shortcut that journey. You've got to become the person that can make the type of money. So you need to tell yourself, I'm going to do this for 2 years, and I'm not going to focus on money. I'm just going to work on my business, level up my skills, and I'm gonna work on my mind and personal development. If you can do that and you truly do it and truly commit to it, within those 2 years, you'll be in a way better. You're not going to want to miss this. Me and Steven are dropping an organic masterclass around creating viral content, around creating influencers, around building brands. So if you're a content creator, if you're a OF model, and if you're especially an agency, oh my lord, there is tons of free value. We're not leaving any stone left unturned. This video is worth millions of dollars. This is the core of my business. This is the core of Steven's business, and this has literally made us millions of dollars. And so you do not want to miss this. Like, I'm not over exaggerating it. I'm not overhyping it. This is all my knowledge spewed into a 3-hour masterclass with Steven, and it was insane. And so we're going to be dropping it very soon. So you do not want to miss it. Fucking just trust me, keep an eye out for it, and just know that this thing is going to be insane, and this is actually going to change the OFM industry, like, no joke. And so yeah, stay tuned for that. It's a literal 3-hour free masterclass that we're just going to drop on my YouTube, and it's going to be absolutely insane. The amount of knowledge in this shit is crazy. And I mean, like I said, we've literally left no stone left unturned. I literally got with Steven and was like, how can we level up the industry? How can we make the industry even better? How can we literally not hold back any information and just spill all our knowledge that we know about the core aspect of the business, which is traffic generation, aka blowing up content creators, aka blowing up influencers, aka making models famous? How can we just put a doc together, and then just spew our knowledge on a webinar back and forth. Not a webinar, like a masterclass, whatever you want to call it, just on like a podcast kind of setting. Like Stephen was at his, I was at mine, and we was just on like a Zoom call kind of. Yeah, insane. Literally insane. I very happy with it. And we covered everything. I don't think there's much that I forgot to talk about, much I left out. And it was insane. It was really, really, really insane. And I think this video is going to do well within this niche, because I think people will just share it with people because of the amount of value. And so it's also good because it's an evergreen method. It never goes out of date, right? That's what we wanted to do. We wanted to create the most valuable OFM video on the internet that's evergreen, so it never goes out of date, and also doesn't actually add or create any additional competition for us, right? And so there's strategies and stuff that we do, and we know that you kind of have to hold back because it's gonna make it worse for you, right? It's gonna create more competition, right? And when you're actually running the core business, like that's obviously gonna be an issue, right? And so like there's always little secret sources that you have within your agency that you can't release because it can saturate that part. But when it comes to creating organic content, and when it comes to making models famous and generating the highest leverage traffic, the highest leverage activity, the best quality subs for chatting, building that core audience, that doesn't matter how many people do it. There's already 18 million pieces of content that go out like every day or every hour or wherever the statistic is. So it makes no odds. Like, it doesn't create any competition for us. It just levels the industry up, which is why we're like, literally, we want to give everything. We're not holding anything back. I swear to my core, I like on my life, like we're literally not, we didn't hold a single piece of information back that I can consciously think of. And so, yeah, it was insane. It was genuinely the most amount of value ever, and we're just giving it away for free. And just why not? Fuck it. Like, let's just level the industry up. And so, yeah, the people that go and actually apply this information, it's not a quick black hat method, but the people that go and apply this information are going to make fucking tons of bread. So literally 90% of all my incomes come from this. So is Stephen, and so is all the more successful agencies that I currently work with, doing multiple 6 figures a month. They will just follow these exact principles, and there's the core and foundation of their agency and their business. It's the best strategy for longevity and long term. It never goes out of date, and it's the highest ROI, highest leverage skill you could possibly learn, right? If you understand how to get attention, you're never going to be broke. So that's what it is. And yeah, we just thought, like, where's the highest leverage piece of content we can make that's going to serve as many people as possible and help as many people as possible. Like, I want people to come back to me and say, I watched that organic viral masterclass of yours, and I'm 6 months in now, and I was learning the ropes for the first 2 months, listening to the stuff you said, and now I'm 6 months in, or now I'm a year in, and I'm doing multiple 6 and 7 figures. And, you know, the models I'm working with that have this many followers, I just want to see that was my goal for this video. And I know we can do that because I've been teaching this stuff inside my partnership program, inside my Inner Circle program. Like, when we had our Inner Circle program, obviously I don't do my Inner Circle program anymore. I just do partnership offers now. But I've been teaching this stuff for like the last 2 years, and it's so key. So do not miss it. My honest advice. And like I said, it doesn't matter if you're a model, if you're an agency, or just a general business, or like a content creator. Like, there's tons of source in you for you regardless. And so, yeah, that's the point. It's obviously tailored to models and FM agencies, but it's evergreen principles. If you want to grow your personal brand, if you want to grow your dentist business, like, it doesn't matter. Like, these principles apply. And so that's the point of the video. And yeah, don't miss it.